Hello guys, this is Anurag Sharma and I extend my humble namaskar to all of you. Friends, as we know that in current affairs, the various organizations, especially of national and international importance, comes a lot in any current affairs section of any competitive exam. So in the series of discussing these organizations, today I am discussing one of the recent organization whose summit has been held in China recently, that is BRICS nation. I believe every one of you knows that what BRICS stands for. I guess you know it very well that B stands for Brazil, R for Russia, I for India, C for China and S for South Africa. So BRICS 2017 summit was held in Xiamen, China. So before discussing that what was happened in 2017 Xiamen's China summit, let's discuss that what is BRICS. Let's have a basic introduction of BRICS nations. BRICS was basically founded as 4 nations, BRIC members, which is Brazil, Russia, India and China in 2008. The idea of BRIC nation was coined by a famous Goldman Sachs economist, Jim O'Neill, who coined this idea of BRIC nations in 2001. He presented a paper, and in that paper he termed these economies as emerging economies, and he gave his opinion that in 2050 these economies will take over the most of the global trade. The BRIC nation was joined by South Africa in 2011, and since then it has come to be known as BRICS. BRICS members, as I told you earlier, these are one of the major emerging economies, and these economies consist of 43% of global population, 30% share in global GDP, 17% share in global trade, and 27% of surface area. It is also seen as a political drive to promote multilateral global order based on justice and inclusiveness in place of the one dominated by the US and her Western allies. We know that most of the global trade is dominated by US dollar, so it is seen also as a competitive group of emerging economies to neutralize the effect of increasing effect of US dollar. The biggest achievement of BRICS nation, as per my point of view is concerned, is the establishment of new development bank. The BRICS members established NDB in 2014, and it is a global financial institution. Its headquarters is in Shanghai, China, and currently Mr. K.V. Kamath, a famous Indian economist and famous finance expert from India, he is heading NBD. It has authorized capital of $100 billion. The basic aim of NDB is to develop plans and establish nationally through projects that are socially, environmentally and economically sustainable. So basically to promote everything which is contributing to the achievement of sustainable development goals. And this, as this is established by BRICS nations, so this NDB is also viewed as one of the competitive body of World Bank. But recently NDB signed various memorandum of understanding with World Bank, Asian Development Bank and various commercial banks of member states. So let's come to the recent upbringing of BRICS 2017. It was held from 3rd to 5th September, and it was the 9th annual BRICS summit, and all the heads of 5 member states, Brazil, Russia, India, China and South Africa, they attended this summit in Xiamen, China. This summit was 9th summit. The 7th summit was held in Ufa, Russia, and the 8th summit was held in Goa, India. And it was planned to conduct the 10th BRICS summit in Johannesburg, South Africa. The theme of the Xiamen summit was BRICS Stronger Partnership for a Brighter Future. It is my humble request to all of you to note down these factoids. It may come in one form or any other form in various competitive examination. So what were the various cooperation priorities of BRICS 2017? A partnership that upholds world peace. The topic of terrorism was discussed widely and accepted by all the members in common consensus that terrorism is a major threat to any economy, and so that is why a partnership that upholds world peace was encouraged in this summit. It was the top priority. A partnership that promotes common development to all the nations, especially member nations. A partnership that carries forward diversity of civilization. We know Brazil, Russia, India, China and South Africa, we are very culturally rich countries, and we also want to promote these civilizations and the cultural people-to-people contact with each other. So that was also one of the topmost priority. to improve global economic governance, to encourage people-to-people exchange, to support the cause of BRICS cooperation, to improve cooperation mechanism to provide guarantee for cooperation in various fields like agriculture, technology, in the area of cyber security, and like that, and to build a broader partnership in the long term. So every summit has its declaration. The last declaration was known as Goa Declaration, based on the name of the city. Similarly, this year's declaration, BRICS declaration, is known as Xiamen Declaration. So BRICS nations shared a common vision for the future development of BRICS. All commonly agreed to enhance communication and coordination in improving global economic governance to foster a just and equitable international economic order. Basically, BRICS is the economic organization to encourage the trades between these emerging economies. As I told you, and we discussed in the previous slides, that we have very rich resources. We have more than 20% of the surface area we are sharing. We have 43% of population, which is a huge chunk of population. So member nations have a very important role to play in the global trade. In order to serve the demand arising from rapid growth of trade and investment among the BRICS countries, members also agree to facilitate financial market integration through promoting the network of financial institutions and the coverage of financial services within BRICS countries, subject to each country's existing regulation framework and WTO obligation, World Trade Organization obligations also, and to ensure better communication and cooperation between financial sector regulators. Besides naming terror groups responsible for violence and causing concern, BRICS called for a comprehensive approach to combat terrorism, including countering radicalization, recruitment, movement of terrorists, supply of weapons, and money laundering. It is also seen as one of the biggest victory for India that this terrorism has become a part of declaration, and various terror groups based on Pakistan has been specifically named in this declaration. Also working together to promote most effective use of fossil fuels and wider use of gas, hydro, and any power sources, nuclear power sources, which will contribute to the move towards a low emission economy, better energy access, and sustainable development. As India has also claimed that most of its programs are keeping in focus the SDGs, that is Sustainable Development Goals prescribed by United Nations. The commitment to promote green development and low carbon economy in the same context of sustainable development and poverty alleviation, enhancing BRICS anti-corruption cooperation, and supporting the strengthening of international cooperation against corruption. BRICS also strongly deplored the latest nuclear test conducted by North Korea and expressed deep concern over the ongoing tension and prolonged nuclear issue on the Korean Peninsula. So these were the basic highlights of Xiamen Summit. Our Prime Minister, Mr. Modi, has also suggested 10 noble commitments for BRICS, and let's discuss them one by one. They are very self-explanatory in nature, and maybe one or any question may come from this section as well. So whatever the various 10 noble commitments which were suggested by Prime Minister Modi was to create a safer world by organized coordinated action on at least 3 issues, that is counter-terrorism, cyber security, and disaster management; to create a green economy by taking concerned action on countering climate change through initiatives as India initiated International Solar Alliance, especially with African countries, we call those countries as solar rich country. Then creating an enabled world by sharing and deploying suitable technologies to enhance efficiency, economy, and effectiveness; to create an inclusive world by mainstreaming people, including banking and financial system, as it was also a part of Xiamen Declaration as well; to create a digital world so that we can bridge the gap within and outside of our economy; creating a skilled world by giving future-ready skills to millions of our youth. India is India is the youngest country of the world. We have a large second largest workforce with us. So to create a skilled workforce will definitely give ample opportunities to our youth. And creating a healthier world by cooperating in R&D, research and development, to eradicate diseases and enabling affordable healthcare for all. So creating an equitable world, BRICS nations should provide equality of opportunity to all, particularly through gender equality. And in terms of connected world, Prime Minister Modi also suggested enabling of free flow of goods, persons and services in these member nations, and creating a harmonious world by promoting ideologies, practices and heritage that are centered on peaceful coexistence and living in harmony with nature. So these are the 10 noble commitments which were suggested by Prime Minister Modi in BRICS Summit 2017 held in Xiamen, China. So that is all from my side. I hope you had a great time, and if you have any kind of doubt, you can comment down on, and you can ask anything about it. While concluding, we can say that Xiamen summit was a uh, very important summit, because as far as the relation between India and China took shape in previous 2-3 months. So before this summit, both of the countries, they withdrew their forces, mutually withdrew their forces, and it shows that how globally and how economically we are linked to each other, and how economy and business shapes the political relations of the country as well. So as far as the point of India is concerned, it was definitely a positive summit for India, as in the summit, the various terror group of Pakistani based terror groups were also named in the declaration. So all in all, it was there was a positive takeaway for India in the BRICS Summit 2017. Thank you so much, guys. Love learning.